Have you noticed that every year starts with promise and ends with frustration? 2026 will only be different when you are different. Today, I'm going to show you what really makes someone move from intention to execution. No stalling, no empty motivation, and no waiting for the perfect moment. If you want real results, pay attention, because the change starts right here. Everyone talks about 2026 goals, but very few face the real reason they never move forward. Personal goals with no clarity, zero strategic planning, and an exaggerated dependence on good day motivation. Have you noticed? Many people want a life change, but they want it without discomfort. They want productivity, but open their phone every 3 minutes. They want personal development, but run from the basics, consistency. The truth is simple. It's not about lacking ability, it's about lacking focus. It's not about lacking dreams, it's about lacking discipline. It's not about lacking potential, it's about lacking time management and daily execution. Most people get stuck because they wait to feel like doing it, when they should be training self-discipline. Because they create smart goals on paper, but don't build healthy habits in practice. Because they embrace 1,000 ideas and abandon all of them at the first difficulty. And the worst part? They confuse continuous progress with perfection. Any stumble becomes quitting. Any unexpected situation becomes an excuse. And then the year becomes a sequence of, now it's going to happen, that never happens. You versus you all the time, and most people lose to themselves. But understanding the problem already opens space for the solution. And if everything starts at the root, this is where you discover how to finally break this cycle. Want to know why 2026 goals fail? Because most people define wishes, not personal goals. I want to change my life. I want to be more productive. I want high performance. It sounds nice, but it's completely useless without a clear objective. If you don't know exactly what you want, any distraction becomes a path. Smart goals start with simple questions. What exactly do I want? In how much time? With what action plan? How will I measure it? Without these answers, you don't have goals, you have hope. And hope doesn't guide daily execution. Specificity creates focus. Focus creates discipline. Discipline creates results. When you define the destination, your brain stops wasting energy inventing a route every day. You reduce anxiety, increase organization, and unlock real productivity. The kind that's part of your personal development, not just your schedule. And want a powerful mental trigger? Use visible criteria, numbers, dates, behaviors. Read 12 books, lose 5 kilograms, save X per month, study 30 minutes a day. Nothing vague, nothing one day. Everything measurable, everything doable. Because when the goal is clear, execution doesn't depend on mood, it depends on consistency. And that's what separates those who wish from those who achieve. And now that you know exactly what you want, it's time to discover how to turn it into a plan that actually gets off the paper.
Setting goals is easy. The hard part is turning those goals into something that actually happens. Many people stop at the paper stage. They write, organize, underline, and execute nothing. The secret is simple. A goal only becomes reality when you break it into steps so clear that it becomes impossible not to act. Want personal goals that actually work in 2026? Turn each one into daily microtasks. It's not work out, it's 20-minute walk. It's not learn English, it's 2 lessons per day. It's not save money, it's set aside X every week. That's how a real action plan is born. Specific, direct, and doable even on bad days. And why does this work? Because it eliminates confusion. Your brain doesn't need to decide anything. Just follow the script. This reduces resistance, increases productivity, and creates a cycle of continuous progress that, over time, becomes a life transformation. And remember, there is no perfect plan. There's only the plan you can repeat. The key to high performance lies less in intensity and more in consistency. Daily execution is what separates I want from it happened. Now that you have a practical plan, we reach the part that truly sustains any goal. You can have the best 2026 goals, the most organized strategic planning, and the most beautiful action plan in the world. But if your habits don't support all of this, nothing happens. What you do repeatedly matters more than any isolated decision. Want a life change? Start with what you do on autopilot. Healthy habits don't appear out of nowhere. They're born from daily micro-choices. Sleeping better, drinking more water, studying in short blocks, reviewing personal goals every week, organizing your day before it starts. Small actions that combined build real discipline and productivity. The question is, what in your day brings you closer to your goals, and what pulls you away from them? If you don't take care of the basics, how do you expect to reach high performance? There is no personal achievement without repetition. There is no personal development without routine. Think of it this way. Your future is shaped by what you do when no one is watching. Want consistency? Make the path easier. Keep things prepared. Keep them visible. Keep them simple. Strong habits beat weak excuses. And when habits fall into rhythm, the doubt that stops many people appears, depending on motivation or on discipline. Motivation is great when it shows up. The problem is that it disappears on the days you need it most. That's why so many people start the year excited about personal goals and end it lost in excuses. The truth? Those who depend on motivation lose. Those who depend on discipline win. Discipline is simple, doing what needs to be done even without wanting to. It's what sustains your strategic planning, your action plan, and your entire personal development journey. Motivation starts you, discipline transforms you. And here's the key point. Discipline isn't about being rigid, it's about being consistent. It's following small, daily commitments that keep you moving. Daily execution creates continuous progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence generates action, creates productivity, healthy habits, and real-life change. Ask yourself, what would I do today if I were already the person I want to become in 2026? The answer is your best compass. Do this repeatedly, and you'll discover where true high performance lives. And now that you understand the internal engine that drives you, it's time to remove everything that distracts you. You don't need more hours in the day. You need fewer distractions. Most people don't lose time, they lose attention. And without attention, no clear goal survives. Smart goals don't stand a chance against constant notifications, endless social media loops, or environments that pull you away from what matters. Want real focus? Start by cutting the noise. Keep your phone away when you're working. Organize your environment. Use simple lists so you don't depend on memory. Close unnecessary tabs. Sounds basic? That's exactly why it works. What destroys productivity isn't big problems. It's small attention leaks repeated all day long. Focus isn't a talent, it's management. Management of what you allow into your mind. Management of the time you choose to protect. And total focus doesn't mean doing more. It means doing what truly brings you closer to your continuous progress. Remember, every distraction has a cost, and every minute of directed attention is a direct investment in your personal development, your discipline, and the life change you want to see in 2026. Now that the ground is clear, it's time to learn how to use your time as a strategic resource, not as something that simply passes. Everyone has 24 hours, but few know how to turn that time into real progress. The biggest difference between those who advance and those who get stuck isn't talent, it's organization. When you learn how to structure your day, your personal goals stop feeling like a burden and become a natural part of your routine. Time management isn't about filling your schedule, it's about prioritizing. Which tasks truly move your 2026 goals forward? Which are urgent, which only take up space? Simple strategies like dividing your day into focus blocks, defining only 3 main priorities, or eliminating redundant tasks work because they reduce chaos and increase productivity without requiring extra hours. And here comes a truth that hurts. If you don't control your schedule, someone else controls it for you. Without strategic planning, the day becomes improvisation, and improvisation doesn't create high performance. When you decide in advance what to do, you reduce anxiety, increase consistency, and transform your daily execution into measurable results. Organizing your time is, deep down, organizing your mind. And when your mind is aligned, you make room for something even more important, thinking like someone who actually goes far. Before achieving something great, you need to believe you can become someone great. A growth mindset is exactly that. Understanding that skill is built, discipline is trained, productivity is learned, and personal development isn't a gift, it's a process. People who achieve their 2026 goals don't think, this is just who I am. They think, I can improve. They don't ask, why is this so hard? But, what haven't I learned yet? This simple shift unlocks creativity, courage, and consistency. You stop running from mistakes and start using them as information. When you see yourself as someone in continuous progress, things that once seemed impossible become just steps along the path. And that's what creates real motivation, realizing that every small improvement proves you are evolving. And here's the point almost no one notices. Thinking big doesn't mean thinking fast. It means thinking with direction. It's adjusting your mind to see that your results are a consequence of your daily execution, not luck. It's taking responsibility for your choices and understanding that every action, no matter how small, shapes who you become. This mindset doesn't eliminate challenges, but it changes the way you face each one. And it's exactly this internal shift that allows you to track your results without losing momentum, even when they happen slowly. Measuring your progress isn't about pressure, it's about clarity. Those who don't track their steps eventually get lost along the way, and that's exactly why so many people give up too early. They can't see how much they've already advanced. Want to stay consistent? Start by recording your evolution. The secret lies in simple metrics. No complex spreadsheets. Write down what matters. Study days, completed workouts, money saved, tasks finished. Small indicators show whether you're aligned with your 2026 goals and prevent that feeling of, I'm doing everything and getting nowhere. And here's a liberating truth. Progress is not linear. There are good weeks and bad weeks. Days when you move 10 steps forward, and days when you can only take half a step. And that's okay. What matters is the movement, not the speed. This understanding keeps setbacks from turning into quitting. Monitoring is about tracking evolution, not seeking perfection. You learn what works, adjust what doesn't, and maintain what pushes you forward. That's how sustainable productivity is built, solid personal development is formed, and a high-performance journey that truly lasts is created. And when you know exactly where you stand, it becomes much easier to handle the chaotic days that insist on showing up. Unexpected events aren't interruptions, they're part of the path. Many people abandon their personal goals because they believe any stumble means failure. But a setback isn't defeat, it's a sign that you're human. And guess what? Every personal development process goes through this. The secret is simple. When something gets out of control, don't try to recover everything at once. Go back to the basics. Resume the minimum habit. Reconnect to your clear goal. This keeps you moving without creating that heavy feeling that destroys discipline and productivity. And here's a decisive point. Don't personalize the problem. A bad day doesn't mean you're bad. A tough week doesn't erase months of consistency. High performance isn't born from perfection, but from the ability to restart quickly. Those who restart quickly win. Unexpected events will test your time management, your focus, and especially your growth mindset. The right question isn't, why did this happen to me? But, how do I continue despite this? And when you learn how to answer that question, you discover that the environment around you has a much bigger impact than you imagine. You are disciplined until someone distracts you. You are focused until your environment pulls you away from your personal goals. The truth is that your surroundings influence your behavior far more than your willpower does. Ignoring this is silent self-sabotage. Disorganized environments create disorganized minds. Negative people drain energy. Superficial conversations steal time. And when you notice, your productivity evaporates and your strategic planning becomes theory. Want high performance? Adjust the environment before you try to adjust your behavior. Surrounding yourself with people who already live what you're striving for accelerates your life change. They reinforce healthy habits, encourage a growth mindset, and make you see that your 2026 goals are completely achievable. Normalizes growth. And here's an uncomfortable question. Who today brings you closer to the life you want, and who pulls you away from it? Your physical and social environment can be your biggest ally or your biggest obstacle. And when you choose to become conscious of that, everything changes. Because with your environment aligned, you gain strength for something essential, adjusting your plan in real time without losing focus. The perfect plan doesn't exist. The plan that adapts does. And that's exactly what separates those who accomplish personal goals from those who get trapped in their own strategic planning. You don't need to start over every time something changes. You just need to adjust the route. Strategic flexibility isn't quitting. It's recalibrating. It's looking at the results, identifying what worked, correcting what held you back, and reinforcing what moved you forward. It's understanding that your 2026 goals don't change, but the path to them can and should change multiple times. Rigidity is the enemy of continuous progress. If you blame yourself for adjusting the plan, you're doing it wrong. Growth requires adjustments. High performance requires adjustments. Real productivity requires adjustments. Nothing evolves without revision. And here's a powerful insight. Those who insist on doing everything exactly as planned, even when it's not working, aren't disciplined. They're stubborn. True discipline is adjusting daily execution without losing sight of the clear objective. When you master this conscious flexibility, the game changes. You stop fighting against the year and start advancing with it. And this prepares you for the final piece of the puzzle, ensuring that 2026 truly becomes your year of maximum evolution. You already know the path. Now, what defines your results is your daily execution. Your 2026 goals won't come true through grand gestures, but through small choices repeated until they become part of who you are. Discipline, focus, healthy habits, growth mindset. All of this only works when you act, even on ordinary days, even without motivation. Want to guarantee your life change? Then treat your personal goals as commitments, not wishes. Treat your productivity as a priority, not a luxury. Treat your personal development as an investment, not something optional. The difference between those who grow and those who stay stuck is consistency. It always has been. High performance isn't about speed, it's about direction. Success isn't about knowing everything, it's about not stopping. Personal achievement isn't about having the perfect plan, but about adjusting, persisting, and continuing. It's you versus you, every single day. And when you understand this, you realize that 2026 doesn't depend on luck, but on you repeating what works, correcting what blocks you, and protecting what drives you. Evolution doesn't happen by accident, it happens by choice. And remember, this channel is free and only exists because of people like you, who believe in sharing strength and motivation. If this message spoke to you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Join us, turn on notifications, and keep evolving in this battle called you versus you.